First off, there are some requirements of being a wife. Now, you can compromise on some of these requirements, but I always say the historical definition of wife always had virgin in front of it. Virgin wife. Virgin wife. There were no thought wives. Virgin wives. There were no stripper wives. There were virgin wives. There were no carousel riding wives. There were virgin wives. That's just how it was. Women didn't divorce men. They didn't have the right to. If a man had a woman and she turned out to be the virgin she was supposed to be, he didn't divorce her. He didn't divorce her. Divorce was just not something that happened unless a man had a woman and she was not who she said she was. She was not who her father presented her as. But you can make some amendments to that because we do live in modern society. So if you can't find virginity, no children. That's the next best thing. You almost can't find that. What about no previous marriages or failed long-term relationships? You almost can't find that. And that's why you can't get shut upness and obedience. See, the thing about shut upness and obedience, when you have a woman who always in front of the microphone, you know she ain't got no shut upness. So every time he would sit and let this woman talk, and in his mind, it represented support of his ideas. Every time I saw it, I was like, man, his old lady don't never shut up. She ain't got no shut upness. A woman who runs her mouth for a living is not a wife, because a wife is quiet. A wife is much more of a listener than she is a talker. Speaking is competitive banter between men at all times. It's competitive banter. If me and you are talking, we trying to make a deal on a motorcycle, we trying to make a deal on a gun, we trying to make a deal on a boat, we trying to make a deal on anything. If you trying to paint my crib and we trying to make a deal on it, we communicate, we're talking. But it's competitive conversation. We're trying to get the best deal we can. Another thing is this. You also have to keep in mind that the modern women most have that social media mindset. What's that social media mindset? Man, I could be here pleasing this one man and just live and benefit however I can, or I could go over here and do my own thing, try to make my own money and get the benefit of being validated by all of these men. Let me tell y'all something about validation. If you need it externally, you don't love yourself. You need other people to give you reasons to love you, to love yourself. And they're always external. When you look at, just look at what they call getting your face beat. It is totally changing the look of a woman's face. I want you to ask yourself, why do you want a woman who has to change the look of her face in order to feel confident in herself? She doesn't love herself, and so she has to put on a face that she does love, because when she takes that off, she's miserable. She's back to the woman that she doesn't love. And the main problem with that is when you try to turn that woman into a wife, it's always going to fail, because she only became your wife because it validated her. A woman who doesn't love herself, it feels great to her to know that a man loves her enough to make these vows and tell her, I give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. He'll give her all of that forever. A man will promise a woman his forever. If a woman don't love herself, there is no greater love than that. She'll go for it. She'll take it, even though deep down inside, she doesn't want to be that. See what I'm saying? She doesn't want to be that. I met a chick one time, man. Everything she got on social media, man, and it wasn't that many pictures, but everything she had on there, man, she was 3 shades lighter. I was like, what happened? She told me it was the lighting. I was like, wait a minute. So everywhere you go, that same lighting follow you around? Who are you, the children of Israel being led by the flames at night? That's just what we're dealing with out here, brothers. You got to keep in mind that we are dealing with things that men didn't have to deal with historically. And the social media mindset is one of those things. See, when you think about it, man, with the social media mindset, everything a woman does and everything she says is for show. It's always for show. Man, listen, bro. If once you get to understand what's going on, you'll see these women, man. These women are getting dressed up, getting dimed up, getting dolled up, sitting down for makeup for 2 hours just to go to a park and take some pictures so they can post on social media. Looking like they somewhere. Going to somebody's house that they know just to take a picture by their pool so they can post on social media. Going out, renting a Lamborghini just so they can post it and see some Lamborghini. Or walking up to some dude and giving him her number so she can sit in his car and take a picture. Y'all don't understand, man. If you don't know this, everything that the social media mindset woman does, man, is for show. And if you take a woman away from that, like this guy did, Pastor Devon Franklin, he tried to take Megan Good away from that. You can't take a woman out of the streets, man, because from the streets she cometh, and to the streets she shall return. Once a woman is a part of the streets, she's for the streets. She ain't gonna never not be for the streets. She only gonna not be for the streets seemingly when the streets spit her out and say, no, you don't fit in the streets no more. There's a street wall. The wall for the streets is earlier than the regular wall. The regular wall, a woman can hold on, man. She keep herself in good shape, man. Keep herself happy and don't be stressed out. She can hold on. The wall for the streets is early. It's early. Way early. But when a woman is for the streets, she's just going to take her chances. You can't give a woman who's for the streets a good enough life for her to leave the streets alone. She just can't do it, brothers. If she could, she would, but she can't. You see what I'm saying? And here's one of the main things. And this is real, man. A lot of men ain't going to like this. There's something to be said about a woman who's embarrassed of her natural beauty. She's embarrassed of her natural beauty. See, when you're trying to seek perfection for your physicality, for your physical appearance, you're lost because none of us are physically perfect. But when you're trying to smooth out every single blemish on your face, I mean, listen, bro, it can be something that ain't even there for real. When you're trying to make your face look like a painting, we're trying to make your face look like a magazine cover. That's why you have to pile that makeup on it this thick so you can get as far away from your natural skin as possible and just create this mask. That says a lot. That says a lot about a woman's capacity to love herself. And I'm telling you, if you get caught up with one of these types of women, brothers, it is not going to be a good thing for you because it's never going to pan out the way you would want it to pan out. It's never going to pan out the way you would want it to pan out. And I ain't making this up. Anybody who says I'm making this up, man, just being facetious. They lying, man. They're lying. And that's real, man. And y'all know I ain't making this up. Y'all know I ain't making this up. See, here's the problem with the majority of people in marriages. The majority of people in marriages marry for the wrong reasons. You understand what I'm saying? See, after a while of playing in the field and being ran through and being with all these different men, a woman needs a man who makes her feel special. See, here's the thing. When a woman is young, she feels special because she feels the power of being able to control a room of men. There's power in that for a woman. Being able to walk in and control men's interaction with her, there's power in that. But see, all that leads to when a woman is young, you understand, is going from man to man to man, for intimate relationship to intimate relationships. And after a while, she starts to feel worthless because of that. Because none of those intimate connections she's making has turned into anything meaningful emotionally. And after a while, a woman has getting all the physical attention that she's needed. She's got all the physical interaction that she's needed, but she hasn't got any emotional interaction. And 9 times out of 10, she's coming from a childhood where she didn't get the proper emotional interaction. And now she's starving for emotional interaction. So the very first man who comes along and said, you are so beautiful to me. The first man who come along and said, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. The first man who comes along and says any of these things, she's likely to marry that man, even though she don't really like him like that. And that's just how it is. She is likely to marry that man because that's something she's never felt. Just imagine the overwhelming feeling of a man telling you, she's your queen to be. Just imagine the overwhelming feeling of a man telling you, you're my queen to be. Somebody else ain't singing it to you. That man is saying, you're my queen to be. Just imagine a woman who has never been told that, has never been made to feel important, has never been made to feel like a queen, has never been made to feel like she has any value. That woman is going to go haywire just for a minute. Just for a minute. Because here's the thing. Physical interaction is addictive. Many men out here who are chasing women all through their lives, men been chasing women in their teens. They're chasing women in their 20s. They chased women in their 30s. They still chasing women in their 40s. Some of them still chasing women in their 50s. You know why? Because physical interaction becomes addictive when there is no emotional or spiritual connection. Preferably spiritual. When there is no spiritual or at least emotional connection, physical interactions become addictive. You know why? Because you start to live the empty life of a pleasure seeker. And this is what happened in a situation like this. When you marry a woman who has become a pleasure seeker, yes, the thrill of being elevated and pedestalized to the level of a queen by a man, it's going to do something to her for a minute. Then she's going to realize that if she's just going to be with this one man, she can't get her fix from the physical interaction. Because here's the thing about physical interaction. If you get too much physical interaction without any spiritual or emotional connection, you just become a strictly physical being. So all that faking she was doing about how she was the pastor's wife and all that one was faking. She ain't got that in her. Obviously, she ain't got it in her. She ain't got it in her. It ain't in her. That's just how it is, man. Y'all hold on, man. Give me a second here. All right. Agent of Truth, salute to you, bro. Appreciate you being in the joint, man. Appreciate the $50 sponsorship of the show. Peace to you, Dr. BOA and the Alpha family. It's been a while since I was able to catch you live, but keep doing God's work, Dr. BOA. You are changing lives. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you being in here, man. Appreciate it. All right. Let's go ahead and do this, man. Let's get back into it. So when you think about these things, man, you have to ask yourself, did this woman even want to marry this man in the first place? And I tell you now, the answer is no. But in order to keep getting that feeling, so you got men out here that will meet a woman, and no matter how the woman is, no matter what the woman's history is, yeah, I just did a video of a guy the other day, man. I think it's on a member channel. It might be members only. But here's a guy who has created a platform where all he does is says things like, well, a woman body count don't matter to me because I'm going to extract things from that woman that no man ever could. I'm going to make that woman feel a way that no man ever could. That's what Devon Franklin did to make it good. You see how it turned out, don't it? You can't extract from a woman what ain't in her. You can't build in a woman what she doesn't have the foundation to build. I want you to build a house out there on the sand. Go out there and build a brick house out there on the sand. Make it big too. So it can be a spectacle when they fall because they ain't got no foundation. But you have guys out here who are perpetuating this. If the woman does not want to be married, let me tell y'all something right now, man. A ring does not make a woman a wife. It makes her a harlot with a ring. She's a harlot with a rock on her finger. I don't care what size ring you put on her finger. I don't care how big the ring is. I don't care how expensive the ring was. A ring will not turn a physite into a wizite. It just won't do it, homies. But keep trying. if that's what you want to do. See, let me tell you something. What you got to understand is this, and this is real. 9 times out of 10, when a woman has been on that ride, the man she marries is never her most enjoyable sexual experience. Now, okay, somebody gonna say, especially older women like to say, well, y'all gotta focus on more than just sex. There's one came in a comment the other day. Well, y'all gotta focus on more than just sex. Yes, if we're dealing with a woman who has passed the wall and don't want to give us no sex no more, yeah, we gotta focus on more than that. But what man wants to marry that woman? You see, if that woman grows old with you, if she grows into the wall with you and y'all already together, y'all have a connection. Y'all have a spiritual connection, an emotional connection that can circumvent the wall because you know things about her and you've experienced things with her that are just sexy, that are just intimate, that are just sensual. You know her intimately like that. You can't meet the woman that's beyond the wall. This dude met Megan Good beyond the wall. Megan Good was already at the wall when he met her. Past the wall. If you go get surgeries to make your body look a certain way, that don't count. You can pass the visual wall test from a distance, from online, from on TV, but you can't pass the wall test from behind closed doors. There's women out here with amazing bodies. But it's just because you can't see the surgery scars and the surgery wounds and all that. They got amazing bodies when you see them out in public. Now, am I saying that's necessarily something that should make you not deal with a woman? No. Whatever a woman has to do to keep her body tight, keep your body tight, because it is a prerequisite that you keep that thing tight. Keep it tight. If you got to get cut, if you got to get stuck, if you got to get a laser, if you got to get a taser, whatever you got to do. If you got to go to a plastic surgeon, try to get a favor, whatever you got to do. Do whatever you got to do to keep yourself looking tight. Because the most important thing to us as men is you being fine. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but see, women don't understand that because the same way Megan Good, who was still an attractive woman to be her age, still is an attractive woman to be her age now, has taken good care of her body, some of it surgical, but she has a nice body to be her age. She is held up in the road. You understand what I'm saying? If you got the money to do it the way you can do it, then spend the money. I can't knock nobody for spending the money to do the way they do it. It ain't no difference in spending money on the dentist, getting your teeth fixed. See? There ain't no difference than spending money at the dentist, getting your teeth fixed. It's the same principle. But we cannot allow ourselves to forget that the whole reason for her to maintain this physicality was so she can continue her street run. Now she's got to the point where at a certain age, a woman's value in the streets, I mean, it falls off a cliff. Falls off a cliff. It falls off a cliff. Think about this. If you had to pick one of the two, and this ain't gonna be a pick that you make because of morality, but if you had to pick one of the two, who you gonna pick? Megan Good or Saweetie? If you're gonna pick Megan Good over Saweetie, put a 1 in the chat. If you're gonna pick Saweetie over Megan Good, put a 2 in the chat. Now I know us, we ain't gonna pick now one of them. We don't want them. But if you had to pick one of the two, are you gonna pick Megan, the wall banger, street thought, or are you gonna pick Saweetie, the young tender, street thought? Somebody already put Megan in here. Jeremy Jane, you got to be kidding me. Because all you picking these women on is physicality. What did I say 2 was? I think I said Megan. Who is number 2? I done forgot now. Who is 2, man? Is Megan 2 or 1? Y'all made me forget putting all these 2s in there. I hope Megan is number 1. I think Megan is number 1. How many of us are gonna pick Megan Good over her younger version? Who is gonna pick the older version over the younger version? Like, who's gonna pick it doesn't make sense. Who's gonna pick listen, if you got 100 bands to spend and you finna buy you a car, are you gonna go and get this 2010 Range Rover, or are you gonna go get the 2022 Range Rover? And they cost the same price. It's real simple, man. It's real simple out here. So when this man married this woman, and so many men out here do this, think about the man who wanted this woman in school. Think about a woman who wanted this woman in school. Oh man, I want this woman in school. Oh man, she didn't want me then. Oh man, I want this woman when I got 25. She didn't want me then. Oh man, I want this woman in there. It's the same principle with Steve Harvey, but Steve Harvey money is so long and he got his woman at such an old age that she ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. She got more to lose by leaving than she got to gain by staying. If she stays there, she gonna get everything. Because men just generally tend to pass quicker than women do. So when you really think about it, man, there is nothing that you can do with a woman who has lived that life and been going through so many things, man. Somebody send me a joint on Keisha Cole, man. I'm going to upload that joint tomorrow, man. Let me tell you something. Here's another woman saying that she's going to be celibate for 2022. Keisha, you should have been celibate in 2012. It's too late for that now. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Fool somebody into believing that you haven't been on the ride like you've been on? Here's the problem. And here's what women don't understand. Your younger years are when you're supposed to secure a husband. Don't nobody want you. Nobody who gotten in the offer want you when you in your 30s and 40s. Unless he's a really old guy. Somebody in their 60s or 70s may want you in your 30s or 40s, but there is no man in his 30s, 40s, 50s that's going to want you in your 30s and 40s. It's just not going to happen, man. It just ain't gonna happen. That's just the truth of it. Because we don't have to settle for that. So when I tell people that my age limit is 27, so what? It should be 27. You see what happened to the average American woman when she hit 30? Well, why am I gonna settle for that? And here's the guilt tripping. Well, you just want somebody who you can control. Yeah, kind of. You just want somebody who's naive. Yeah, kind of. You just want somebody who ain't gonna have no opinion and be able to. Yeah, kind of. You just want somebody that you just want somebody who still got a young, tender body and blah blah. Yeah, kind of. You know, I'll be away. I know what's wrong with you. See, you don't want a woman that's gonna challenge you. Yeah, kind of. Wait a minute. Well, I know what's really wrong with you. Not be away. I got you, boy. Now, boy, let me tell you something here, boy. Be away. Let me tell you something. Boy, you doing all this talking, telling these boys all this stuff all the time. Don't be away. Let me tell you something here. Right now, boy. I know what your problem is. You don't want no woman that'll be awake who gonna always have something to say every time you got something to say. You don't want no woman who gonna always try to have an opinion about everything that'll be awake. You don't want a woman who got a whole bunch of spirit with a whole bunch of men that'll be awake. Let me tell you something. You want a woman that you got to teach how to please you that'll be awake. You doggone right. That's exactly what I want. All of those things I want. And you ain't gonna find no thing in a 40-year-old woman, man. You ain't gonna find them. That's just the way it is. Now, if I had to have a 40-year-old woman, I would just be one of those guys who would make it work. But I don't. I don't have to do that. And you know what? I'm not going to do that. 27 is as high as I will go. Maybe when I'm 60, I will raise it to 32. But that's it. And somebody gonna say, well, what 32-year-old woman gonna want you when you 60? One who has not figured out, or one who has finally figured out that the world is a lot easier with a man to guide me, lead me, clothe me, feed me. And I will shut up and obey this man at this point because I don't want to grow old by myself. That one. See, here's the thing. A man wants a woman who understands that I control this environment. So when you come into it, you got to be willing to be controlled in this environment because you ain't got no control. You ain't bringing nothing to control. All you bringing is yourself. That's all. All you bringing is your little sexy body in here and an open mind that's willing to be taught. That's another thing. Woman get past a certain age, she don't want to be taught no more. She want to teach. Well, what's she going to teach me? What a 30-year-old, 40-year-old woman going to teach me? Teach me about what? What you going to teach me? What you going to teach me that's valuable and beneficial to my life that's going to make me a better version of myself? Tell me what it's going to be, because I can't think of that. And it's going to take you 20 years to think of something. By then, you'll be 50. I guess you can tell me something by then. What I'm talking about is the reality of the scenario that when you wife up a woman who has already given her best years to some other man or some other men, you are not getting anything worth having. And that's just the reality of it. You're not getting anything worth having. A woman can have so many men in her past that she can't even be physically attracted to you. You understand? That's why the toy industry has blown up so big. Why is the toy industry so huge? The toy industry is so huge because most women have been involved sexually, intimately with so many men that they can't even be attracted to real men anymore. They have to fantasize about something that doesn't exist, or they have to fantasize about something they can no longer get. Put up a video today. A guy done proposed to this reality show chick. He done got his first tattoo ever, and it's her name on his back. First tattoo ever is her name on his back. Now tell me how much sense that makes, brothers. How much sense does that make? Why would a man do such a thing? Doesn't make sense, does it? I know. It doesn't. Jeremiah Wooten, appreciate the $5 super sticker, bro. Appreciate it. Richard Smith, appreciate the $5. Doctor, I had a homeboy try to tell me that me wanting to control and dominate my woman is little D syndrome. I thought his opinion was super beta. Man, his opinion might be a little bit more beta, more than beta. You know what I'm saying? Here's what it is. His opinion is feminine because he sounds like a woman talking. Anytime a man says something that you've only heard women say, you can tell that's a man that's dominated and guided by it. Now, isn't it ironic that a man who's obviously being dominated by women would say that something's wrong with you wanting to dominate your woman? There's two people in a scenario. Somebody's going to be dominant. Somebody's going to be submissive. Two people can't be dominant. Two people can't be submissive. So when a woman says something like, well, he's going to submit to me and I'm going to submit to him too, you are crazy. Flee from that woman. She has no common sense. Jacob, man, Jacob B, appreciate the super sticker, bro. Appreciate it. Brown Hornet, my brother, in the building, man. My squad in the building. Appreciate the dime, man. Kamar G, man. Appreciate the 10 bones, man. Talk to him, BOA, man. Obedience to a man that is wise enough and stable enough to lead is important. Education has made women think the natural order of things don't apply. Exactly, brother. We're going to read that one more time. Obedience to a man that is wise enough and stable enough to lead is important. Education has made women think the natural order of things don't apply. It really has, man. The education has ruined women more than anything else, man. There's just something about the education process that has made women feel like they don't have to be who they were born to be. Can you imagine someone who's living a life doing everything in their power to not be who they were born to be? They're going to fight against who they were born to be all the time. I'm talking about put up a good fight, a knockout, drag down fight. Don't try to beat the brakes off the reality of life every day. Run from it, not embrace it. Wouldn't you like to know? Appreciate the 5 on, bro. And this is the real, man. Rational Logic, man, represent Kentucky. Salute to you, bro. So you got to keep in mind, brothers, that no matter what we think about or try to act like we want to do, the reality of the scenario is that we got to keep it a buck with ourselves. And the reality is, no matter what someone says or what they do, we have to always know. We have to always know that when you have a woman who has spread herself thin throughout her life, she is never going to be a wife. It don't matter how many rings you put a ring on every finger. She's never going to be a wife. She loses the capacity, the ability, the understanding of what it means to be a wife when she goes out there and spreads herself thin. It's a curse to her being. It's a curse to her physique. It's a curse to her spirituality. It's a curse to her emotionality to go out there and spread herself thin like that. She loses the part of her that would make her submissive, that would make her obedient. She loses it. Even if she was raised that way, she could be raised to be that way. But if she goes out there and spreads herself thin, she's going to lose that. She's going to lose that. You take a woman like R&B singer Monica. Man, Monica, now one thing about it, besides Rocco, every other man she's been with has married her. But every other man has also divorced her. See, sometimes the woman will file the divorce, but the man has already divorced her mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. But anytime a woman can get married 5 times, get divorced 5 times, let me tell you something. Something's wrong with her. She makes a better fiance than wife. She makes a better baby mama than wife. She makes a better homegirl than wife. She makes a better, I ain't never seen you before, than wife. She makes a better booty call than wife. Or shall I say midnight rider. She makes a better midnight rider than wife. Only time I'm going to ride through on you is at midnight, and for the daylight, I'm going to be out of your sight. She makes a better all of that than wife. But she seems like such a good girl when you meet her. Man, let me tell y'all something, bro. For the majority of women in this society, relationships are a game. It's called the dating game. It's called the mating game. It's called the relationship game. They all have rules, but the end of the game is dun, 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 dun. That's the end of the game, which means women stop playing by the engagement rules. They forget the rules of engagement once they get the marriage. That's just how it is. To them, that's the end game. And once the end game is gotten, the game is over. Nobody keeps playing the game when, I don't care what sport you watch. When that time clock goes down to zeros, nobody, and I mean nobody, is still playing on that field. When the confetti fall out from the ceiling, man, at the end of the NBA championship game, the referees ain't blowing no whistle telling me to take the ball out. Nobody don't get no free throws. The season is over, man. And that's how women view this. The game is over at marriage. So your job is to make sure that you got a show enough team player. You can't have a player on the team that ready to leave after the championship. You can't have LeBron James on your team, because LeBron might leave the year after he win a championship. You never know. LeBron is notorious for leaving teams after he win a championship. So you got to keep in mind that you can't have a woman who thinks she's a superstar on your team. You got to have a woman who thinks she's the damn water boy. You got to have a woman who thinks she's the janitor that cleaned up the arena. She's just happy to be in the place to be able to see the game while getting paid to see the game. You got to have a woman that walk around giving away popcorn and hot dogs and beer. You can't have a woman who on the floor being a superstar. You hear me saying stuff like that? This is the star of my team. You don't need no star of your team. Where was she when you built the team? Where was she when you was already winning? And the worst woman for all of this is a career woman. Career women make terrible wives unless you're a beta male simp mangina or you broke. Career women make terrible wives for real masculine men. Never listen to anyone tell you that you need to be trying to marry a career woman. If you're a masculine man, I'm talking about if you're a man. I ain't talking about somebody who looked the part. I'm talking about if you're a man, homie. If you're a man, a career woman ain't gonna do you no good. She is too competitive. A career woman is competitive. She has no choice but to be competitive because she has to compete in a man's world in order to get where she is. And you know what? Everything she got, she had to work extra hard for because men are standing in her way. And rightfully so. This is a man's game. You think you want to play a man's game? Of course, we're going to make it a little bit harder for you. Let's see, because you ain't got no business here, no way. So yes, she had to work as hard as men, and she had to work even hard. Well, I ain't going to say as hard as men, because she can't work as hard as men. She had to work harder than she thought she was going to have to work. And so she's a grinder now. She's a hustler. She's ready to fight through all obstacles. She's ready to fight through everything. Even a simple conversation with you, she's willing to fight through it. She's willing to fight for her right to be right. You understand what I'm saying? And then the crazy thing is, this same woman will want you to pay all the bills while she's going out there making paper. Let me tell you something, bro. You don't fit no woman who making money into no traditional wife life and let her go out there and make all that money while you still foot the bill. There are roles to this. There are rules to this, man. If you're gonna be a man who paid the cost to be the boss, you gotta have a woman who's gonna be at home to be what you need her to be. How you gonna have, man? I know several dudes who they wife make more money than them and they still pay all the bills. Let me tell you something, bro. That is the most feminine mindset I have ever heard of. You have embraced true femininity if you believe that you can make $100,000 a year and have a woman who make $350,000 a year, and you still supposed to pay all the bills. That's why men who got paper and women who got paper don't go together, unless she has enough paper and she's still gonna submit to your rule. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to be able to go in and take control. Most men can't take control of a woman who has money because they feel intimidated by her money. Most times when you got money and you're a man and you meet women, they acquiesce to your demands because they ain't got no money. So they view you as a man who can give them a life. They view you as a man who can upgrade them. Now that same man meets a woman who got her own paper. He's different with her because she don't treat him the same way. She don't bow down to the money. This is why I tell you, men, don't become a man who has stuff confidence. Be a man who has self-confidence. Yes, you're going to gain some confidence if you become successful, but just confidence in your ability to succeed. You're not going to become more confident as a man. If your confidence as a man is affected by what you achieve in your career, you don't know. Then if the two aren't separate, that means that you didn't have no confidence until you start achieving things in your career. You didn't have it. So a bunch of men know how to, they can maintain frame, as they say, in the company of a beautiful woman, but they can't maintain in the company of a beautiful, successful woman. See, as a man with paper, you just get used to beautiful women. We all want beautiful women. We love beautiful women. Ain't that better than waking up, man, with a beautiful woman right beside you, man? Ain't that better than waking up to the smell of some breakfast cooking, man, and a beautiful woman coming in, man, bring you a plate to the bed, man? Ain't that better than that? Come a beautiful woman that's so beautiful that she might be in there cooking with no clothes on. You know you got a beautiful woman, boy, when she walk around the house with no clothes on. She knows she beautiful, walk around the house with no clothes on. But it's different when that beautiful woman got money. And I'm not talking about a career woman, because it's very rare that you're going to see the most beautiful woman you ever seen and she got a PhD. That just don't happen. Now, I'm not saying there are not some fairly attractive women who have PhD, but the most beautiful woman you ever seen, the sexiest woman you ever seen, ain't going to be no woman that been going to school her whole life. Those two things just don't go together. A woman ain't gonna get the mind and the body like that at the same time. Just like us, we're not gonna get the mind and the body at the same time. We're not gonna get the common sense, and we're not gonna be the smartest man on the planet and have the best physique on the planet. That's just not how it's gonna go. That's why you remember you was called the dumb jock. You know what I'm saying? You just not gonna get it. That will be perfection. None of us is gonna be perfection. Now some of us can get to where we're very intellectual. And we can have a decent physique. We can look good, but you're not gonna have that natural physique where you just been ripped your whole life. You've been ripped and swole up your whole life, and you're a genius. It don't happen like that. Look at Bill Gates, boy, smart as hell, but body like a bag of potatoes that's already been cut into French fries. You see what I'm saying? That's just what we have to understand. And there's nothing he was gonna be able to do to have the most amazing body because genetically it's not there. But here, he has it, and it goes for all of us. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? You see the most Poindexter guy in the world, man. Listen, that boy, the most Poindexter guy in the world is not going to be able to pay linebacker in the NFL. I can tell you that. So here's the thing that we got to understand: a woman who thinks she's equal to you won't submit. I don't care what you do; she's not going to submit. You could be the strongest man in the world, most masculine man in the world. And a woman who believes she's equal, not equal as a man, not equal in masculinity, but equal to you in any way. If a woman feels like she's equal to you with paper, it ain't gonna work. Because let's take B and J for example. Of course, that's a celebrity couple, but they're a good example. B already had money, but B didn't have power. J had money and power. So Jay was able to come to her and talk to her like a boss because he's been a boss his whole career. She ain't no boss. She was an artist. Yeah, she made a lot of money for a label. She had a lot of popularity, but he was a boss. That's what you have to do. Be a boss in your own life. Nobody else could have gone to her and done that. Maybe Master P, maybe Diddy. You know what I'm saying? On that level, but none of those, there aren't many men who could have gone and sat down with that beautiful woman, famous woman, very wealthy woman. There are many men who wouldn't have known what to do with that because every woman that you deal with got to see you as a boss. So if you're Devon Franklin and you with Megan Good ain't gonna never see you as a boss because she's been in Hollywood around men that she identified with as bosses. She identified with certain men as bosses. He was the opposite of a boss in her mind. Her bosses allow her to make movies. Her bosses give her a budget for a movie. Her bosses pay her for acting in a movie. He wanted her to not do movies. So that was never going to work. He tried to pull her out the streets. Let me tell you something, brothers. Two places you can't pull a woman from. You can't pull a woman out the streets, and you can't pull a woman out the church. If she in the streets, she will always return to him. If she in the church, she ain't gonna never let it fully go. That's just how it is, brothers. It's just how it is. Terms like life partner. Life partner? Man, you know what, when a woman call you her life partner, when a woman call you her partner, you know what that is? You have agreed to come into her life and help her find joy and happiness. Let's say that again. You have agreed to come into her life and help her find joy and happiness. Now, that's what you've done as a man. Like it makes sense. That's what a partner is. You know what women call me? Daddy, king, hubby even, my lord. Never partner. I ain't never been called partner a day in my life, bro. I wouldn't even know how to take it. I'd be like, partner in what? Whoa, partner in what? What partners in? Bro, let me tell you something. I've had opportunities to go into business with women. I'm not even be a business partner with a woman. She can work for me, but we ain't finna be business partners. I just don't get down like that. But here's the thing. The only woman who's going to want to do those things is an older woman who's already tried every kind of relationship. That's one of the main reasons why you can't settle for a wild banger, because she's already tried every kind of relationship. She's been in good ones. She's been in bad ones. She's been in emotional ones that didn't have a whole lot of intimacy. She's been in some that were just based solely on physical intimacy. She's been in some that had equal portions of both. She's been with men who had money. She's been with men who didn't have no money and used her. She's been with a bunch of different men, and therein lies the problem. A woman does not want to try the same thing she's tried before with an open mind if it didn't work. See what I'm saying? If a woman has tried a certain type of relationship and it didn't work, she's not going to try that with an open mind. And that's what we want. As a man who has an open mind. And see, here's the thing, man. And I'm going to start talking about this. I'm really going to start talking about this. I got some real surprises coming for y'all this year, bro. I'm telling you, man, this little COVID thing has slowed me down a little bit, boy. I'm coming out the gate hard at the top of the year. You understand? But after being in Florida, man, over the holidays, man, I ain't been right since. But here's what we gonna do, man. I got some stuff coming for y'all, man, that has not been seen in this space. Let's put it like that. I got some stuff coming for y'all. But I'll say this to y'all, man. The thing about having a younger woman is that she has an open mind. And she has a certain naivete, and you need that. You need a certain naivete from a woman, man. She needs to be able to go into something at least partially blindly. She needs to be able to go full speed ahead. Because as a grown man, a successful grown man, I'm not looking to have a young woman just so I can use her body up. You know what I'm saying? Now I want her young body, but I'm not just to use her up and discard her. You know what I'm saying? There's a position that she can fit in. And so I'm not just running around trying to meet younger women so I can just have my fun with them and send them on the way and ruin them. And no, I ain't about that. I'm a grown man, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real live grown man. But here's the thing. At being that, I'm also a realist. And I know that a bunch of older women have been with a bunch of beta male simp manginas. And they've also been with a bunch of men that they shouldn't have chose. And they have the scars to go along with that. And I'm not finna fix no broken woman. I'm not finna heal no heart that I didn't break. I'm not finna take care of no child that I didn't make. I'm not finna do none of that. If y'all want to do it, fine. But two things that BOA ain't gonna do. Ain't gonna do. And I'm telling you this because I've dibbled and dabbled in these things before. I've been with a woman with a kid. Of course, didn't wife her, but I've been with one with a kid. I've been with one with some heartbreak from past relationships. Two things BOA ain't gonna do. I'm not gonna mend no heart that I didn't break. And I might not mend one I broke, but I sure if it had been that men now that I didn't break, not even gonna attempt it. And I'm not gonna take care of no child that I didn't make. See, I'll go into the hood and put together some programs for some kids. So the other people in the hood who want to give back, we can all come together and create something for those kids. But we talking about me, you talking about me. I'm gonna sit right here with this one woman with her kid by that man over there, and I'm gonna take care of him. I ain't gonna do it. It ain't in me. Now there are some men out here is in. Thank God for those men. They're a benefit in the world in some kind of way. I'm just not one of those guys. You understand what I'm saying? And here's another thing I want y'all to understand. This push for 50-50 relationships is ruining the ability of women to be wives. Because anytime a woman has been in one 50-50 relationship, she's gone on the power. She's addicted to the power of having power. I say that again. She's addicted to the power of having power. That's power in having power. She's addicted to the power of having power. You understand what I'm saying? And anytime someone gets addicted to the power of having power, they never want to let that feeling go. There's something unique about being in a situation where you have power, where you can make something happen. Where you can make something. Man, let me tell you something. A woman can't come to me and say, hey, listen, pack your bag, we're going to such and such. A woman can't tell me that. I can tell her that. And you know what she gonna do? I knew you were gonna say that. I already got a bag packed. Why? Because you know I'm the boss. And she's got familiar with some of the tendencies of the boss. We ain't finna plan no trip for next year. If I say, hey, we finna go such and such, listen, what's the day? Thursday? I say, look, go ahead and pack up, do this right here, do this right here. Saturday morning, we flying out. Guess what? Guess what she gonna do? I knew you were gonna say that. I already just got a bag pack. I just keep a bag packed. Why? Because I can do that. Now just imagine if a woman could do that. Just imagine if a woman could tell me, cancel your show for tomorrow. We going here. Tell the guys you can't do the show tomorrow. You got to go here with me. Just imagine if a woman could tell me that, brothers. Mount Valley spring water, man. Mount Valley sparkling spring water. Blackberry pomegranate, man. Good stuff here, man. Good stuff. I like the way that bottle looks black on the screen because it's really green. But when you put up on a green screen, it turned black like the background. Pretty unique. So here's what I want y'all to understand, man. I want y'all to understand this, that when you cohabitate with a woman, it normalizes your presence. No matter how amazing your presence is, it's more amazing when a woman doesn't have access to it every day. Every day. That's why when King Solomon built his castle, he built his wife another castle. That's game. That's life game right there. This was when King Solomon was young and wise. Before he got all the wives, he had one wife. When people were coming from all over, bringing him gifts just to hear his wisdom about their life, man, just to hear him preach to him and minister proverbs to him. Man, he had a wife. He said, no. She can't live with me every day. I'm going to build her own crib. That's what I'm telling you, men. If a woman wants to be with me, she has to accept the fact that she won't be cohabitating with me on a daily basis. Because what I tell you, men, you got to have a masculine space to rejuvenate your masculine energy when you go out into the world and deal with all the femininity and beta male energy out in the world. You got to have a masculine space. So I'm telling you, I ain't going to do it. The Mixtape Master Reese channel. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate it. Had to drop a little something off to you, my man. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you being in the joint, man. Had to go over there and check you out. So I'm telling you, man, that for me, she got to, listen, she going to have her own space. Now, of course, it's going to be my space. I'm going to go and come and go. And if I'm going to stay there with a man for 3 days, I want her to come stay with me, man, for 3 days, man. Listen, she may be right around the corner. She may be right across the street. But she ain't going to be in the house with me on a daily basis. I can't handle that. I don't want to handle that. I ain't never had a woman around me, man, that I want around me every damn day. I'm going to need a break from her. And a break, I ain't talking about a break where I just go somewhere and then come home. I'm talking about some days, man. I'm going to need some days. Let's say she come kick with me for the whole week. I'm going to need the whole weekend. I don't want to see her on the weekend. This is just how it's got to be. But men don't have the intestinal fortitude. Even wealthy men don't have the intestinal fortitude to put that rule down. Why? Because money don't make you alpha. Money don't make you masculine. Money sure don't give you no ism. But the problem is men act like they need the woman. Now, we need women. I ain't gonna say if all the women are gone in the world, I don't know about y'all, I'm gonna be mad as a fool, boy. I'm gonna be mad as a fool, man. I wake up and all the women gone, man. I don't want to be in no world with just y'all. I need some women in the world too. But that one woman, I need that one woman so much that I'm gonna compromise everything? No, bro. Nah, man. Nah. That ain't gonna happen. Let me tell you something. This is the mindset we should have. I am a good man. Not just a good man. I am a good black man. A good, successful black man. And I demand that a woman understands that it is my way or no way, and no way is okay. I don't mind no way. I prefer no way over your way. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. That's how it's got to be, man. It's got to be that way. It's going to be that way. That's just the way it is. It can't be no other way. I don't want it to be no other way. I can't stand it being no other way. I wish it would be another way, man. I got to have what I got to have, brothers. I ain't lying to you, man. I got to have it. That's just the way it's got to be. I ain't tripping. I ain't playing. That's just how I want it, man. I'll give me a quick second here, man. I got a terrible thumbnail on this thing, boy. And and that's just the way it is, brothers. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna make nothing up. I ain't gonna act like it ain't what it is. The reality of the scenario is you have to make sure that you don't put yourself in a situation where you're believing that a woman is going to be something she can't be. And that's what Devon Franklin did. He put a woman in a position who couldn't be what he thought she could be. She just couldn't be it. And she probably wanted to be it, but she couldn't be it. A lot of time, it don't matter what a woman wants. It matters what she can do. And that woman couldn't do this. She couldn't be this, man. And many of you men got women who can't be that. And once that cohabitation normalizes your presence, there's a certain level of respect that's going to be gone. There's a level of physical attractiveness that's going to be gone. She's going to get lazy in bed. The emotional drainage of just being there with you every day, man, and you being there with her, it's going to overwhelm both of y'all. It's going to overwhelm both of y'all, man. It was not meant for you and me to sleep in the same bed together every damn night. Now, if you got an expansive property that's big enough where she could be over there on that wing and you could be on this wing, and it's almost like y'all ain't even in the house together, cool, let's do that. But many men don't have that luxury. So it's a whole lot cheaper just to let her keep her crib and you keep your crib. And here's the thing. Here's what they're going to try to say. Well, it'll be cheaper for us just to come in and share bills. No, it won't, because if we're going to live together, we got to get a bigger spot anyway. So it's going to cost us the same damn thing. And even if it costs a little bit less, I'll pay that extra to get the peace of mind of not having you in here with me on a daily basis. I can't handle that, man. It's too much for me, bro. I ain't lying to y'all, man. It's too much for me. Now, some of y'all might be able to go for it, man, but it's too much for me, bro. I can't handle it. I can't handle it, man. And see, and here's what you got to understand. Here's what you got to understand. A woman is either going to marry you for two reasons. She either going to marry you because she love your dirty drawers and she can't see herself without you, or she going to marry you strictly for your provisionary propensity. That's it. Now, that provisionary propensity is going to take place no matter what, because a woman don't want to be with a man who ain't got nothing. When I hear guys say, well, it don't matter what I got, a woman should still bow down to me. Why? Why is a woman going to submit to you when she's doing better than you? That means if she submit to you, she's going to be doing worse in life. Why would a woman who makes $100,000 a year submit to you and you make 30? Why would a woman let a man who can't even make 100,000 control her 100,000 a year? Explain that to me. See, I got to be realistic out here too, man. You got to be realistic. You can't tell yourself, man, that you deserve something you don't deserve. Ray Allen, appreciate the 5 bone. This is the talk I need. Blessings, Doc. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Teff, I see you in the joint, man. So here, I want to say a couple of more things about this, man. I'll say this to y'all. When you put a woman who is used to having a fast life into a routine life, she's going to bore with that life. She's going to get bored really quickly with that life that you want her to just be in that routine. A woman who's been ripping around in the streets her whole life, man, she don't want to wake up and cook your breakfast every day, bro. She don't want to wake up and cook your breakfast. She don't want to wake up. She don't want to have to cook your lunch, man. She don't want to be cleaning up your house every day. That woman want to get out. That woman don't be at home with you Netflix and chilling on the weekend, man. That woman want to go get out, homie. You can't take a woman out of the streets and make her be submissive and sweet. It's not in her. There are entities in the street that change who you are, both male and female. If you run in the streets change who you are. They change how you connect with other people. It makes you someone different, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. It makes things that shouldn't be normal to you be normal. It's the same thing with surfing social media all the time. You find me somebody that's always surfing social media. I find somebody that has accepted some abnormal things as normal. You know what I'm saying? You find me somebody who watches porn all the time. Find me a guy who watches porn all the time, and I find you a guy who has accepted some things as normal that aren't normal. And you can't take somebody out of their normalcy and try to put them into yours and think they're going to fit into yours as well as they fit into their own. They're not. They're not. And eventually, like Megan Good did, a woman is going to get bored and fed up with trying to act like living this life with you is as good for her as it is for you. And then she's going to act out. So the best thing that could have happened to this guy was to go ahead and divorce her. And I can imagine she probably sat him down and told him, listen, I think we should end this situation because I don't want to cheat on you, but I probably am. So let's just end this situation. And you got to respect that because men don't normally divorce women. So if a man files for a divorce, he knew something. He didn't think something. He didn't guess something. He knew something. How you go from just a couple years ago defending a woman to, now she's going to wear what she want to wear now. Don't tell her what to wear now. No, amen. She's going to wear what she want to wear, amen. She's going to do what she want to do, amen. She can come out how she want to come out. Amen. That's my wife. Amen. She can wear what she want to wear. She's still holy. Amen. She's still a wholesome woman with her stuff out. Amen. He came on. Y'all remember I did a video on that. He came out and did that. But now all of a sudden, he don't view it like that no more. Why is that? Because he came to realize that if you get a woman with something that she didn't have, you can't keep her with that thing because she has already lived a life without it. So yes, you having it brings about a change. There's a certain level of respect she got from being Devon Franklin's wife that she had never gotten. She had never gotten that before. You understand what I'm saying? And when she got that, it felt good, but it can never replace who she is at her core. So eventually, she'll be unable to continue faking it like this life with you works for her. And then you got two choices. You got to understand that that woman is changing. Her interaction with you is changing. Hopefully, she'll sit you down and say, I don't want to be in this anymore. Or you done saw her talking to somebody and she done told you, hey, I like this guy. There's a video, man. Somebody sent me email about a guy. I might do a video on that. But you got to keep in mind, if a woman is not your type when you meet her, if she changes into that, she's faking. She's faking, bro. She can't become that. After a certain point, we can't become anyone new. We have a very small window of being at our most impressionable stages. At your most impressionable stage, that's the only time you can change. Once you become an adult, adults don't change. We improve. So if someone was a criminal and they was going to prison all the time, just because they're not going to prison anymore doesn't mean they're not a criminal. They're someone who's improved their ability to resist those urges, to resist that temptation. But if you put them right in that element, they're going to fall weak. It's like you can't put a fiend right in the dope house. You can't put a fiend right in the trap house. It don't matter how strong they were outside of the trap house, put them in there and see what happens. And that's real, man. Armani Smith, appreciate the 5 bones. Great content. My boyfriend has beta male mentality. Is there any way possible that he will have alpha male mentality later in our relationship? I'm gonna tell you 2 things right here. First of all, he need to be over here in the alpha sphere. And second of all, that's not gonna just come. He's just not gonna wake up one day and have that mentality. He's got to become it. He's got to realize that this isn't who I want to be. I need to improve myself. He's got to want to improve from being a bit of a submangina. And otherwise, and I'm gonna tell you like this: when he does that, he probably gonna leave you because you're gonna have to get in serious shape. All the things you're enjoying right now, with him being beta, you just make sure you prepare to accept the fact that it ain't gonna be the same no more. You're gonna have to get in gear. You understand what I'm saying? Because if he has a beta mentality, then you're enjoying some benefits that a woman can only enjoy when she's with a beta male. And those benefits are going to be gone. Those benefits are going to be gone. And what he has to do, like my brother Tef just said, something's going to have to trigger him to not want to be beta anymore. And it's going to take something. It's going to take a life-altering event, because if he's living comfortably as a beta male, then he hasn't gone through anything that makes him see that that's not the lifestyle. But I'll tell you what you can do. Send that brother here, right here. Maybe you got to be the catalyst that gives him what he needs to move on. And maybe you will, because if you can point out that he's a beta male and has a beta male mentality, you obviously not satisfied with that. So if you stay with the man, you're gonna send him off. You're gonna give him what he needs. Your dissatisfaction as a woman is eventually gonna overtake you, and you're gonna have to react to that. Good looking out, Flames. Good looking out. D. Flemings just put that put the consultation link in there for that guy. But he's gonna need to, something's gonna have to happen. Like, men don't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I think I've been too beta. Let me change. He's got to go through something. It's just how we are as men. Something has to show us that this ain't working. But if he has a beta mentality, how you end up with him with a beta mentality and you're still with him. So does he truly have a beta mentality? I would need a lot more facts about that situation. Because it may not be the fact that he has a beta mentality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is just real talk. This ain't me bragging or anything. If any woman is trying to compare her man to me, you being unfair to that brother. You're being unfair to him. Because there's a huge gap between me and just being a beta male mangina. You don't have to be as nutty as I am with this, as off the wall as I am, to be already becoming the most alpha version of yourself. So you can't compare your man to me. Don't do that to him. I've gone through some things and seen some things even as a child. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 years old that no child should see. But that's what put me here. That's what made me, that's what made me BOA. All the scars that come along with that. And that's a good question, because a lot of times women are having, they have a man and then they listen to another man, or they're around another man, and they just, the alpha energy is going to make women feel a certain way. That's just what it's going to do. When they feel it, it's going to make them feel a certain way. Now, I'm not saying it's going to make every woman want the man with the alpha energy, but it's going to make a woman look at her man and say, wait a minute, I like that right there. Let me see how much of that my man has. But you have to learn to appreciate what you have, instead of looking at the things that don't compare to what you might consider right now alpha energy or alpha mentality. You look at the things about that man you can appreciate, because you're with him now. So you look at the things you can appreciate and think about the things that you probably wouldn't get from him if he had a more alpha mentality. Think about what you enjoy about that relationship, and then honestly tell yourself that if he was more alpha, the more alpha he becomes, you're not going to get those things anymore. So you may be, trading a bird in the bush for 2 in your hand, as opposed to, trading a bird in the hand, 2 in the bush. You may be trading the wrong way. So you got to ask yourself about that. But if you truly feel that, go to that consultation link. And I could get both of y'all on at the same time, and you can voice there with me as the mediator to him your opinions about what you think he needs to change and all of that, and I'll help y'all navigate through that. But so here we go, man. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to slide up out that thing, man. It's been an hour and a half. Y'all know that's a long time for me, man. Long time for me. You know what I'm saying? Besides, I need to make a call, man, to this opportunity, man, that may pan out to be something great. But we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and make this call, man. So, man, look, man, I appreciate everybody being in the joint, man. Great piece of content coming up for y'all tomorrow, man. Phenomenal piece of content, as a matter of fact. And Saturday, man, we're gonna take a day off on Saturday, man. Matter of fact, we take Saturday off anyway, but we're gonna show enough. We're gonna show enough. Start taking this thing off, man. We gotta do what we gotta do, homies. So I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. It's been real in the field. Y'all put God first and keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Hold on, man. What the hell's going on here? All right, cool. All right, man. Let's Seems like no matter what you do sometimes, your efforts go underappreciated or unappreciated, period. You know, all we do, man, is try to give men the information they need to become the best version of themselves. No hate. We love women. We don't hate them. We just don't take no foolishness. And we can't be controlled by our lust. Those men can, but not us.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers. You know, just the protection and provision is more than a woman can ever make up for, man. So I'm not saying don't give her props for what she does, but damn sure never make her feel like she's more important to you than you are to her, because it's just a figment of your imagination. She knows the truth, so you have to understand the truth as well. This is called the abundance mindset. There's nothing she can give you that you can't give yourself, besides a baby. And do you really want one of those right now? Nope.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
See, the main thing that men let women slide with is shut-uppiness and obedience. Now, when you use the term obedience with a woman, she automatically relates that to being a slave. But slaves aren't obedient. Obedience is a choice. Slaves either do it or die. Shut-uppiness is another thing that women have a problem with. It doesn't mean you can't talk. It means that you can't talk when I'm talking. It means that when we're talking about things that I do as the man, you don't have an opinion on those things, because I make decisions based on facts, not opinions, not even my own opinions, and most certainly not yours.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not.